So I'm standing on one of the original walls that existed here before David and before it was conquered and ever made into what we call our capital city. This wall was built by the Canaanites. They called themselves the Jebusites, and it was built at least 800 years before David came and conquered. And this is from the First Temple period. Today we're going to study the walls of Jerusalem. And the walls of Jerusalem are multiple walls from many, many different periods of time, but this is the oldest one, the Canaanite wall. I'm standing outside of the southeastern corner here of what is the, of course, Old City today. And I'm just looking at the different styles of stones. And of course, we see some of Herod the Great's stone with his signature frame. We see many different periods of time built one upon another. This is the word chomot. Chomot are the protective walls of a city. The walls of the city tell the history of the city. All the different layers of civilization and destruction. We have dozens of times that Jerusalem was conquered. Right behind me are the Herodian stones here. And above us, you see the very latest ones, which are Ottoman Empire, 16th century. So we have this whole myriad of history in front of us. In the book of Zechariah, it says that he will be a wall of fire around her, meaning Jerusalem, and I will be the glory in her midst. Did Zechariah see a millennial era Jerusalem? So this is a map of what the city looks like today. It's built on the foundations from the Roman era in the 2nd century, but these are mostly 16th century Ottoman walls. In the time of the Lord, the city was about twice as big as the old city walls today. And below us is a small remnant of what included all of what is today known as Mount Zion. Okay, for a very short period of time, Agrippa II built this, what is known as the Third Wall. And this, of course, was a walled city that extended much farther than the city today and the Ottoman Empire walls. It's very interesting to note that this very extended city only existed for one generation. So I'm standing on the walls right now, these Ottoman Empire walls, and I'm thinking of these verses in Isaiah 62. For Zion's sake, I will not hold my peace, and for Jerusalem's sake, I will not rest. Verse 6, I have set watchmen on your walls, your chomot, O Jerusalem. They shall never hold their peace day or night. You who make mention of the Lord, do not keep silent and give him no rest until he establishes and until he makes Jerusalem a praise in all the earth. This is the ultimate call of the watchmen on the walls. All right, the walls of the old city behind me are very romantic for some people. But when we think about Ezekiel, Ezekiel says, I sought for a man amongst them who would make up or build up a wall and stand in the gap before me on behalf of the land, that I should not destroy it, but I found no one. So when we think about this, God is always looking for people who will be willing to be watchmen on the walls, who will be willing to build up the walls, who will be willing to protect his word and his purposes and pray into it. But the watchman always is looking to the fulfillment of God's word.